Hello everyone and welcome back to SSG Reviews, and if you're new, welcome. In today's video I'm doing something a little bit different than I normally do, but I've done this kind of video before in the past, but it was a few years ago. But anyways, today I'm going to be showing you guys how I transformed this Bratz doll. It's the Passion for Fashion Dana, and I'm going to be showing you how I fix up her hair, clean her face and skin, and just overall how I normally clean and fix up my thrift store dolls. So let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to start with washing her hair and scrubbing her face. So I just have this little like scrubby thing and some soap and shampoo. And I recommend using like shampoo for like matted hair, because as you can see her hair is pretty matte right now, but when she was like new in the box, then she had like glossy hair, and you can get that by using like these shiny shampoos that are meant for matte hair. So anyways, let's get started. So here I'm just taking and wetting down the brush and adding some soap. Be careful when scrubbing the doll's face, especially at the eye and lip area, because you don't want to scrub off the factory paint. You just want to carefully scrub away all the dirt and grime. So remember this is sped up, so it looks like I'm scrubbing really hard, but I'm just gently trying to scrub away the foundation residue and not actually remove her eye makeup. Now it's time for the shampoo. Now, as you can probably tell, my shampoo was running low, so I couldn't use as much as I probably want to use, but it still worked out fine. But anyways, I'm just using, again, as I was talking earlier in the video, this like glossy shampoo, or meant for matte hair to make matte hair more glossy. And instead of scrubbing it in like you do on a human head, I'm just letting it slide through her hair, as you can see in the video. So now I'm rinsing out the doll's hair. Make sure to thoroughly rinse the doll's hair and not just a little bit, so you have shampoo residue in the doll's hair. And I also like to end up with taking and at least using the warmest setting on my tap to just make sure to help get the hair really glossy, as I've noticed hot water helps with that for the doll's hair. And just overall rinse out any shampoo so I don't have any left in my doll's hair. Okay, so now that I've washed her hair and I've cleaned her skin, as you can see she no longer has these little marks on her face, which I believe were like foundation residue or something. Now that's all gone. Now I'll just grab my towel and I'll just dry her skin and carefully kind of like just take and softly get some of the water out of her hair. You still want it to keep it like damp and stuff. You're not going to completely towel dry it, just so that it doesn't squirt everywhere when you start brushing and combing the doll's hair. Okay, there we go. Okay, now time for our next step. So as you can see, the hair already is starting to look nicer just by washing it, but it's still not so nice and the way we want it. So what I use is this hairbrush, and it's specifically meant for like doll hair and synthetic hair, as you can see with little metal bristles. I recommend those kind of hairbrushes and not like regular plastic bristle brush. And also do not share a hairbrush with your dolls, as then you'll transfer the oils from your hair to the doll's hair. Okay, so I'm going to start working my way from the ends to the head, because if you go directly from the head down, then you'll get problem with all the knots getting even worse. So I'm just starting here at the ends And this girl's hair isn't that bad. I've dealt with dolls with much worse condition of their hair, so there shouldn't be such a big problem brushing out her hair. As you can already tell, I don't really have any knots or tangles. So if I notice that I've finished that section, I can just move a little higher up on the head and continue brushing out the doll's hair. Another thing I try to do is to hold onto the doll's hair so you don't just yank it off the neck peg. So instead I just hold her hair or like the scalp so that when I brush the hair, I'm just brushing the hair and pulling the hair and not her entire head. Okay, now that I've brushed out my doll's hair and it's literally almost perfect, again it will take much longer time if the doll's hair is more tangly, but this girl just needed more of a wash. I don't know if you guys could tell, but the water became really murky because she seemed to have something in her hair. Probably, again, the foundation or something that she had on her face. So really her hair was just dirty and not really tangled, but it made the hair sort of tangly and like sticky. Anyways, before I finish off and let her have her hair dry, sometimes if they've had like braids in or whatever, I'll also boil wash their hair to style it. But in this case, I think it will just be enough with drying her hair, having her standing up like so. But I'm just going to go in now because it's hard to do it with a hairbrush and go and look where her part is and just comb through her hair. And I'm just using this metal brush, but you could always use just a regular, or metal comb I mean. But you could always just use a regular comb. For a comb, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm just checking that there aren't any smaller knots in her hair that weren't able to be taken out with the brush. And then I'm also trying to see where her part is and separating it there so that when it dries nicely with her part line. So as you can see, she has a part right here. And I'm just combing the hair the way it was parted. And here I see another little knot, so I'm just going to carefully work on it. Also make sure to hold your doll's head while combing out the knot so you don't just yank on the head. Oops, see, now I was yanking on the camera instead. So yeah, just be careful, because again, this girl doesn't have very many knots in her hair or tangles, but some have really bad ones and they will be pulling like this. And then you do not want to pull your doll's neck peg or whatever and break that because you're pulling the doll's head. So I'm holding her head firmly, so I'm just combing her hair. So I feel like this girl is basically done. So I'm just going to let her dry. And so I'm just going to place her sitting down or like in a little mug or whatever so her hair dries nicely, and I'll get back to you with the finished product. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters who make these videos possible.